All right, thanks, Morten. I'd like to welcome everybody onto our call today. My name is Chris Gullo. I'm a roll diamond out of the United States. And my cohort here is Morten Andersen. He's a roll diamond out of Oslo, Norway. And collectively, we do calls periodically with top leaders around the world and working in the Nikken business and helping people all over the world. And today, we have a conversation with a very special guest. This person is one of the most dynamic and passionate people I know in the Nikken world. I know he's been in Nikken over 20 years. I'm sure he'll relate to us exactly how long. I know he's just been around a long time. He's helped a lot of people live their dreams around the world. And he's one of the things I like about him is he's one of the most knowledgeable and experienced of all the roll diamonds dealing in our industry. He goes to every seminar, every conference dealing with our industry that he can go to in the world. I really respect him for that. He's very successful, very knowledgeable in what he does. He's one of the biggest promoters of freedom and lifestyle and what we do in our business. He's achieved a lot of successes, a lot of honors. Just a few of the things. He's North American Consultant of the Year. He's obviously a member of our President's Club, and he's also a Millionaires Club member. I really like to give a very warm welcome to, I would call him the international traveler in roll diamond, Tanas. Bo, thanks for being on the call with us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Chris and Morten. Happy to be on the call. And hello, everyone.
Well, Bo, you are Canadian, is that right?
Actually, I'm American, but I've been living in Canada a very long time.
So you're Canadian?
Yeah. Hey?
You're from Toronto, right? Or you're living in Toronto right now?
Yes, in Toronto, Canada. Okay.
So how long have you actually been involved in Nikken, and how did you get involved? I know you have an interesting background, so let everybody know about that.
Well, sure. Before Nikken, I had done a lot of things. I had been a musician for many years, and when I started raising a family in the early 80s, I didn't want to travel anymore. I came off the road, and I tried working a number of different jobs, and just wasn't happy with anything. And I realized after a number of jobs that I never wanted to work for somebody else again. A couple things happened where I realized that the owners of the companies I worked for didn't start the company for Tanas. You know, I was just an employee. I could have been a typewriter or a desk. You know, they could replace me very easily. And I just made a vow. That's it, no more. And what happened was I did become an entrepreneur in the early 80s, and I experienced a tremendous timing, good timing, of the video business. In the early 80s, nobody had a VCR. And by the end of the 80s, everybody had a VCR. Of course, we all remember VHS and beta tapes, those of us who are old enough. And I did really well. I had 2 successful video stores, and I had also a wholesale distributorship. I sold those, and I opened up a restaurant, and I lost everything. So that was very humbling. I thought I was a very hotshot entrepreneur until I lost all my capital. And then some. And so once you've been self-employed, it's hard to go back work for somebody else, especially, you know, after that. And I became a real estate agent. I didn't have any more capital to start a new business, so I got my real estate license. I started selling homes, and then I experienced the tremendous power of bad timing when the real estate market was crashing just when I got my license. So timing is everything in business. And it's really helpful to be part of a positive, growing trend. And that's one of the reasons we're so successful with Nikken. And anybody who joins us can be successful because of the massive trend towards wellness and entrepreneurship. While I was a real estate agent, I met a gentleman named Bruce Black. And he was involved. He just got involved with Nikken. And I'm thinking, why is this multimillionaire doing Nikken? See, Bruce Black and his 3 brothers had owned and operated Canada's largest chain of camera stores, Black's Photography. Almost every mall in Canada had a Black's Photography store in there. And they had that business for several decades, and they sold it just before I met Bruce, a few years before I met Bruce. They sold it for $100 million. So you have four brothers total, sharing $100 million. Anyway, Bruce was obviously retired, enjoying life, and but he fell down and hurt his knee. See, I got to know Bruce because he was selling a beautiful estate in northern Toronto, in the suburbs, on a golf course with a pool and a tennis court on his property. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. And he fell down playing one of his brothers, against one of his brothers in tennis, injured his knee so badly he couldn't walk or drive a car because the pain pills were so bad. He went to everything possible and everything money could buy, still limping, still sore months later. And one day a young guy named Mike DiMuccio, who also knew Bruce, said, "Hey, have you heard of these magnets from this company, Nikken?" Well, he put it on his knee, and in 20 minutes, a discomfort he had for months literally melted away. He was blown away. He wanted to buy the company. It wasn't for sale, so for $50, $60, he signed up like everybody else. And when you have something happen to you, you're going to share it with people. He shared it with me. He said, "Bo, you've got to do this Nikken thing with me. We're going to make millions." So here's a struggling real estate agent, and I had gotten to know Bruce. We became friends, and he's telling me that we're going to make millions together. He had my attention. I had two small children, not enough income from real estate at the time, and it was very stressful as well. So I came to a small presentation in the basement of somebody's home that Mike DiMuccio was presenting. I saw and heard enough that it made sense to sign up, because I knew enough about network marketing that if you like what you see, by registering as a consultant, as a distributor, you get products at a wholesale price. So I thought, well, I'm not going to pay retail. I'm going to get the products and see if they're real. And I started using the product, walking on insoles. My sore feet felt better. Using the Flex, my back felt better. Sitting on the Kenko seat in the car as a real estate agent, you know, you do a lot of driving. Toronto's a pretty big city, 5 million people, and a lot of traffic. And I remember normally falling asleep or feeling drowsy, rather, on the highway around rush hour. And I'd be sitting on the Nikken Kenko seat and the insoles in my shoes, and I felt wide awake like I had a double espresso. And I remember thinking, what's in this stuff, plutonium? And it had my attention. And so eventually I got a sleep system and got the products on my mother. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night like a baby. And my entire lifetime, she did not sleep well. So everyone goes through a similar situation of trying the products, evaluating Nikken. But for me, in about 2 weeks, from zero to 2 weeks later, I realized I'm going to do this and I'm going to make a lot of money. Because I had never heard of these products. Nobody I know ever heard of these products, and they produce amazing results, and it's a solid global company. So I had a sense of certainty and excitement that this was going to happen.
Well, that's really amazing story. I know that coming from a background, it's kind of interesting how you went from a musician to entrepreneurship. What was the number one reason that made you switch into that, or did you feel like that was one and the same?
Well, certainly as a musician, you're somewhat of an entrepreneur. You're not keeping regular hours.
Right.
I used to go to sleep when most people wake up in the morning, just for performing so much. I was on the road, but I think it was really a matter of need. When you have two small children and not enough income, there can't be a better motivator than that.
Right. Well, you know, we talk about, we talk about this a lot. You know, Nikken being the total wellness company, and then, you know, the basis and foundation of our company is what we call 5 pillars of health. Now, we're going to have people listening in and going, well, I never heard of that, and what does that all mean, you know, especially the 5 pillars of health. I mean, how does that relate to business? What would you tell a new person about what that means?
Well, I've got a little funny story about it, and then I will answer your question, because my sponsor is telling me about Nikken and about the 5 pillars of health, and he's, you know, very well off at this point, and
right.
And his grandchildren will be for many generations. so he didn't join Nikken because he needed money. He saw an opportunity, and as an entrepreneur, he loved the challenge. But he's one of the nicest people I ever met, and he likes helping people. And so that's one of the reasons he joined. He had enough money, but he liked helping people. And certainly he changed my life by introducing me to Nikken. But I remember Bruce telling me, Bo, this company has this great philosophy about having balance in your life. You can help people. You can help society. You know, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't really say this to Bruce because I didn't want to be rude, but Bruce, you know, you go help society. You know, you're well off. You show me the money. That's all the balance I need right now.
Right.
Because the philosophy sounded nice, but it sounded theoretical. Like, you know, when you're hungry, when you need to make some immediate income. But the reality is my life has come much more into balance, and everybody else who gets involved and starts building a successful Nikken business, because the more people you have in your network, the more people are benefiting from the products, and of course, the more monthly volume that creates.
Yeah.
Productive residual volume, so it creates more income. And of course, when you have a healthy body, you feel better and think better mentally. There's a big focus with Nikken on personal growth and being the best human that you can be. Humans being more is the motto of Nikken. And a healthy family, of course, from the products, but also having time to be with your family. When I joined, my kids were small. I went to every one of their school events and baseball games and everything that they did, and very often I'd be the only father there. And one time I had a Nikken event after my son's baseball games, and all these mothers saw me come in a suit. Normally I'm there with you know, in shorts and T-shirt and sandals, cheering my kids on for the ball game, and I think all the women thought I was unemployed. So I was there for every event. And then one day I come in with a very expensive, lovely suit, and they go, "You have a job?" I said, "Well, not really, but I have a wonderful life because of this thing I'm doing called Nikken." So it's very funny. So that is the 5 pillars of health. It becomes a reality. The more you use the products, the more you share them with others, your life gradually comes more and more into balance. And the bigger the network you have, the bigger the check.
Well, you know, we have some of the best technologies in the world, Bo. I mean, you know, we've talked and talked and talked. There's thousands, tens of thousands of people having great experiences in each of our technologies. I mean, we have millions of customers all over the world, significant. But I heard you say one time that the most significant product that Nikken has is freedom.
Well,
and some people go, well, how can freedom be a product?
Well, whether it's a product or a service or an opportunity, it certainly happened to me. I know it happened to you and Morten and a lot of other people, and many people who've never been in business or in sales before. That's the intriguing thing. And it is, I consider it a product because it's something that Nikken offers. You know, ultimately, we have this one precious life to live. And so why waste it? Why do what the majority of people are doing? They're on the 40-40-40 plan. You know, work 40 hours a week for 40 years for maybe $40,000 a year in retirement. Now in Toronto, that's below poverty level, as it is, I'm sure, in Europe and other places. So it's not a very rewarding a plan or a life plan or an income plan or a retirement plan. So with Nikken, you can have your cake and eat it too, as the saying goes. You can, as I just recently was in Europe and having a wonderful time with friends and also doing a little bit of business, but my income was happening 24/7 because of a number of key leaders in my team know people in other countries, and they know people in other countries. And right now, because of great people on my team and because of Nikken, I have some 60,000 people in 32 countries. Now,
right.
Nobody is more amazed about that than I am, and that creates serious freedom. So if I don't work for the rest of the year, it doesn't really matter. But I love it, and so that's why I'm doing it.
Well, let me just say this, Bo. It might not be a product, but I tell you what is what most people want. And to me, providing something that people want as a product. And I'm telling you right now, if you ask people, health is very important, and I mean that's a growing gigantic market out there right now, but so is freedom. And I agree with you with the fact that I think it's the most significant product, because when they see you or Morten, when they see me flying all over the world, they go, well, how can you do that? I have a nice home myself and some beautiful cars and all that kind of good stuff, but all that's just stuff. What I really like doing is traveling, meeting people, helping people, and I know that you have a great passion of doing that. So the next question is, well, we've been around since 1975, and some people go, well, is there still an opportunity out there? I mean, have we marketed it to everybody yet? What do you think, Bo?
Well, no, obviously, because I've really become a student of the business, because it's so fascinating, it's interesting, and I just thoroughly enjoy it. But demographically, the human population grows much faster than all network marketing companies combined. So in actual fact, relative to population growth, we have negative market penetration. And so every day it's like as if Nikken just began. Even in Toronto, where we have 5, 6 diamonds and royal diamonds, in New York and Los Angeles, 99.99% of the people have not heard of Nikken. Or if they have, they don't have the products. So the market is wide, wide open. And because of the economy, more and more people are looking to network marketing. So many professionals have joined network marketing in the last 10, 20 years. So the level of expertise, well, network marketing is no longer just an opportunity. It is a true profession. And I feel very happy and honored to be a Nikken network marketing professional, because we help people physically, financially, we empower people, and the more they earn, the more we earn. How much better can it be? Wonderful.
You know what? My background, as you know, is in corporate, and I was in a lot of different positions. But the bottom line is the only freedom I ever had is when I got involved with Nikken over 20 years ago. And I'm telling you right now, if you would have told me back then what I know now, I mean, I just can't believe what we've been able to achieve. And the fact of the matter is, to me, the market's better now, Bo, than it's ever has been, okay, for a lot of different factors. And people are looking more today than they ever have at opportunity and that freedom you're talking about. Getting up when you want to, go to bed when you want to, be with your kids when you want to, go on holiday or vacation when you want to, and it's really amazing. And what's really interesting about this is that what it takes to get involved in the Nikken business, Bo, is in my background in finance, it's amazing how little it takes to get involved in this. And I also heard you say that there's good news and bad news about investing in the Nikken business, because that it doesn't take a lot to invest to get moving and make a multi-million-dollar business. So why is that good news, bad news?
Well, the good news is it costs so little to get in, as you mentioned. I started initially just for a couple $100s because I was so broke. But once I saw the products working, I bought a whole bunch of products. I probably invested a few $1,000s in my first 90 days. After I realized that this was real. But basically, for most people, for the cost of a laptop or an iPad, you can at least start and upgrade to a full wellness home for a couple $1,000s or more. But you don't have to start with all that right away. But the upside is you could make all that money back within 30, 60, or 90 days. I went full time within 6 months because I really got out the gate fast. As we say, I really created a lot of momentum by contacting a lot of people, about 100 people in 100 days. We can talk about that later if you want. But out of the many people, I found a few very serious and successful Nikken consultants. And so what other kind of business model can replicate that? Nothing except network marketing. And of course, Nikken to me has the best product line, the best philosophy, and a huge global track record of success. So I just feel so proud to be involved in this. But the bad news is it costs so little to get in. And many people don't treat it like a business. They treat it like a hobby. And we all know the hobbies don't make you money. They cost you money.
Right.
And so all we say is, you know, depending on what you want out of Nikken, but if you want to make decent income in terms of dollars, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or more per month in the first few months, and to go on to 5, 10, or 20,000 in the years to come, treat it like a business. Do what you have to do. First, become educated. Get to know a little bit about the products, how to make a decent presentation, and all you really have to do is just mirror the activities of those who have come before you, your sponsors and other top leaders. And there's so much great information online. You just have to, you know, watch it and duplicate it and make it your own. Speak from the heart, use the products, believe in them, and everybody already has the skills, really, to do network marketing because they're already recommending books and political views, religious views. They're talking about restaurants and the places they've been to. Everyone's in sales, so if any of you ever want to tell me you're not in sales, I'll have to disagree with you because I was just doing a training in Vienna, and I asked how many people are in sales, and very few people raised their hand, and I said, how many of you are married? And a lot of people raised their hand. I said, you're in sales. You made one hell of a sales pitch to get married. You presented yourself in the best possible light. To get a job, to do anything, to teach your children to eat broccoli or to be good people. Everybody's in sales. The question is, do you believe in what you're doing? And so with Nikken, we just say use the products, believe in them, but become a student of network marketing. Listen to some audios every day, watch some videos, and just share the message of Nikken with a lot of people. And that's the key, to persist and stay with it. But treat it like a business. Act as if you invested $1 million, which you don't have to do at all, and stay with it. Treat it like a real business, and sooner or later it'll start paying you like a business. That's the good news and bad news.
Well, I tell you what, that's not too, you know, as far as the good news, bad news. I mean, I always thought a small investment for the type of return on investment is great, unbelievable news. The bad news of just having a why and passion to go for it is just up to an individual. You know what? I mean, you're absolutely right about that. And I think that in today's market, though, there are more people really focused on that than ever before. And that's what I've found in my conversations. So, you know, we have, like I said, we're going to have people listening in on this, whether they're leaders or been involved for a year, half a year, 2 years, 5 years, or brand new. What bit of advice would you get if there was one key bit? And there's lots of information about, you know, what you do. You've talked about a lot of that, about that, Bo, already. But if you had one little nugget, what would that be?
Well, the most basic of all is get in and stay in. Never, never quit. If you go about this the right way and share it with a lot of people, you can start making decent or good money within the first few weeks and first few months. Some people make a six-figure income within their first 1 to 2 years. Most do not, because they have to get familiar with network marketing or not even so much that as just being self-employed. When you're self-employed, no one's going to tell you to go to work. It's a volunteer army, and no one's going to be standing over you scolding you if you don't show up. It'll just be reflected in your pay. But the key is to get in, stay in, because I know some people who in the first year, 2 or 3, didn't make very much money, but something happened. Something clicked. They learned something. They got a new point of view. They grew as a human being, and in that 3rd, 4th, or 5th year, they said, that's it. I'm going to do it. And they just approached it with a new way, a new insight, and started actually applying the things that they had learned. But if they had quit a year or 2 or 3 earlier, they would have lost out. Or as we know, the key leaders, finding strong, ambitious business builders in your network is very important. And maybe the people that you sponsored weren't those people. But if you stay in long enough, sooner or later, they will appear in your second, third, fourth, or fifth levels. I have a fairly recent Royal Diamond from Mexico, Gloria Nava, and she was originally in my 8th level. But many people don't stay in to just use the products and play with it. I made a commitment to stay in. I'm so glad I did. But if I hadn't, I would have lost out on millions and millions of dollars of income. So get in, stay in, never quit, and just be the best consultant you can possibly be. Be as professional as you can.
But Bo, can you say a little bit about the 100 people in 100 days? That sounded interesting.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, you said something about 100 people in 100 days.
Yeah, when I got started, I had been in network marketing for about a year before Nikken, and I made all the mistakes I ever wanted to make. I sponsored half a dozen people, and now I was going to motivate them to be successful. And so it was like a chicken sitting on an egg or some eggs, waiting for them to hatch and do something. They never did. And so I realized when I joined Nikken, I wasn't going to make that same mistake. I was going to run so hard, sponsor so many, that they were going to have to chase me. And so I called Reed Nelson the same day I joined, and I encourage everyone to call someone in your upline who's very, very successful and get their input, their suggestions. And Reed Nelson said, Bo, create AOMA, all-out massive action. In English, AOMA, all-out massive action. So I immediately knew what he meant because I didn't do that before, and I knew what I did before did not work. And I knew some people are just going to do it with or without you. And so I put together a plan, 100 and 100. I didn't have much time, once again, 2 small children at home, working in a very slow real estate market. Life was stressful, and I didn't have much time to do much, but I thought 1, 2, 3 times a day I'm going to contact somebody. And my basic plan was to put 100 tapes in 100 hands in 100 days. This was audio cassettes. I got started at Nikken when you guys did, just before they invented the wheel and fire, long ago. But I thought, I haven't got time to do a long spiel, a long talk, but I'm going to let the tape do the talking for me, and or whether it's a CD or a link. But even now, I would recommend CDs, because if I met you, Morten, in a coffee shop, I want you to be going either online immediately or listening to a CD while you're stuck in traffic and listening to some amazing testimonials and great information about Nikken. So I would suggest whether 100 CDs, or the key is to get the information to 100 people and to have them listen to it or watch the link immediately. So I did that once or twice a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. Within about 3.5, 4 months, I contacted 100 people. During the process, I went silver in my second month, but what happened was the total numbers were, out of the 100, 35 came to a Nikken event over that 90-day period. 20 of them signed up and bought something, and 5 of them were ready to do the business. So those were my numbers. Some people find more business builders, some people find less. The key is, if you can contact 100 people ASAP, 60, 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is, you're more likely to find people who are ready to do the business. And as you become a network marketing professional, you realize that in network marketing, the vast majority, 80, 90% or more of the people are not strong business builders. They didn't join to build a big business. They found lovely products that they want, and they want to enjoy them and use them. And they'll occasionally go to a meeting, but if it's raining, they may not go. You know, they're not serious. But you want to find at least 3, 4, 5, or 6 serious business builders in your first few months. Help them do what you did, and they go silver, you go gold and platinum, and eventually diamond and royal diamond. So that's the 100 and 100. Like an airplane getting off the ground, it's not a good idea. It's everything. Momentum is everything.
Exactly.
You want to find serious business people who want Nikken success as much as they want oxygen.
Exactly. That's really interesting because I remember that's exactly the same way as I did when I started. Actually, that was Chris's advice. So together with Chris, I had a lot of meetings the first 2 or 3 months. Probably I invited around 100. I don't have the exact numbers, but I would guess it was around 100 people personally. And of those, I started around 20. And of those again, I found 4 people that became platinum within the first half year. So to all-out massive action, that is absolutely what you need to do. And remember, when Chris talked to me the first time before I started, he told me that he didn't really know if I was going to be the one he was looking for. He looked for the best people, those who he just wanted 3 people that you could bring to Diamond as soon as possible. So it ended up with me having to sell myself to Chris, and that is to turn things around. And that's in a way what you said too. So so having enough people so that you can pick the best ones and focus on them, that's absolutely key.
You know what, Bo, I think that you hit really good for anyone who's listening to this. You know, most people say, well, I'll get 3 or 4 people, and that's sometimes the biggest mistake is to just get a few people that you think you wish they would do something with you. And, you know, everyone loves our products and technologies, but as you said, Bo, not everybody's interested in the business side of it, and it's okay, really, that's what we do. So I like the advice of just going out and talking to enough people until you get the right people working with you so that we can expand this concept. It's not that, I mean, we're looking for people buying our products, but we want to expand this around the world, and we can't do that by just selling some products to a few people that we know around us. We can do it by expanding this with people that can help us do the same. And the more we expand that concept, the better off we're going to be. So I really like the advice, and I'm so excited, Bo. I truly believe, Bo, that we're moving into an age that is going to create the bigger results than we've ever had in history of Nikken. The markets are there. The energy is there. We have technology now that we never had before, Bo. Like you were talking about cassettes, and now they can do it with links and internet and all kinds of things to improve that. I'm just excited, and I believe that in the rest of this year, a person can really build up to have an awesome 2014. I'm going to leave the final comments to you, Bo, and we're going to close out here.
Well, just one comment is this relationship and these friendships that we've gained over the years. I never would have met Morten or you, Oddman, so many of the wonderful people that are now Nikken leaders, but they all started just like, you know, we all did, wondering if Nikken was real, wondering if network marketing was a real profession or was it a scam or what is it. But you know what? As we grew together, we all, you know, we went silver, we went gold, and as our networks grew and we helped our people go silver and gold and their people, you know, while I think of it, just one thing is don't just sponsor people, sponsor and activate. You want to go wide, you know, by sponsoring many people, we call it going wide. So you need to do that to find people who want to play, who are ready to do something. But mathematically and just what am I thinking? Numerically, the numbers indicate that the people that you sponsor are not likely to be the future diamonds and world diamonds for your network. They're more likely to appear in your second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh levels. And so just one thing, get in, stay in, create that momentum by contacting 100 people in 100 days, those of you who want to make very good income. But the other thing is everyone you sponsor, activate them. You know, help them to make a list of names. Help them to start making presentations, of course, to order products, get them registered for HBM and plug into the local meetings. But start doing ABC. So if I sponsor you, Chris, I'd say, welcome to the team, and I ask you some questions, see what you want out of Nikken, and I would let's go see some people tonight, tomorrow, like ASAP. Even if your products haven't arrived yet, if you're excited, we'll go with my products. The value that you bring to me is not the products you buy, it's the people you put in front of me. And so you become like a headhunter for me by introducing me to people you know and people you meet. And if we sponsor one of your people, Morten, and if he's ready to go, but you're busy with your other job or business, I'll do ABCs with Morten in my second level, because he may be the one who's really going to become the next Diamond or Royal Diamond. And Morten will sponsor Joseph or Maria, and I'll even do ABCs with them. So it's called activating, digging deep. Go wide to find the players, and then dig for diamonds.
That's really awesome, Bo. Well, Bo, thank you so much for being on our call today. I think that people who would listen to this call, and if you're brand new or if you're just thinking about it, the opportunity is there to reach as far the heights as you want and gain whatever you're looking for, whether it's freedom or whether it's making some extra income to pay for your children's education, whatever that reason is. We have the ability to do that, and we work in teams, and we'll work together to help each achieve more. So I really appreciate you coming online here, Bo, and look forward to working with you more in the future.
Thank you, Morten. Thank you, Chris. And hello and good night to all my Nikken family from Europe.
Thank you so much, Bo. Thank you.
My pleasure.